Well, good morning. It is another early Sunday morning. We have snuck back out here to the garage. Got my old trusty sidekick Bandit here. And say hi, buddy. We're back here working on this 72 International Travelall again. Where we left off last time is we got some of the interior stuff pulled out. So I got the back seat, rest of the carpet out. Show you here. So back here, pretty solid, good, like it, like what I'm seeing. It's more of up in here where we got our issues. Just rotted galore there, and then some more nastiness there. And as you can see on both sides here, it pretty much runs right up to the edge of the tunnel. So I think the next step here is I think I'm going to have to go ahead and pull this tunnel out. Just so that way I can get a better idea of what we have going on here and see the lip of where it's going to go to, and see if there's a spot where I can save. If I'm being honest, it'd be a lot quicker if I didn't have to remake some of these shapes that are in the floor pan where it comes up to the tunnel, just that little hump. But if we have to, won't be that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and get this thing zipped out. Just looks like some number 3 Phillips. Just that way we can see the edge, see if there's a spot we could cut to and leave, or if we're just going to end up, cutting this thing out. Originally, I was thinking I could come up to that line there that you can see, because that's where it was like a seam and a panel. But this side here seems pretty pitted and bad to where I think it's probably going to be a better product if I cut somewhere back up in here. And just do the whole pan. And then it goes up the firewall a little bit there to where I think I'll be pulling like the high beam switch over there and whatnot to get my cut up. But I don't know, let's just start getting after it. I've been pretty pleasantly surprised how well using an impact and just a lot of force down has done on getting a lot of these screws out. I've had a couple that have kind of stripped, but we're still able to actually get them. Goes to show, just go slow and take your time. Now, of course, this thing is like sealed on in there, so we'll have to grab a little pry bar or something and give her a little "Who's your daddy?" if you know what I'm talking about. Well, somebody put some self-tappers in this thing from the underside going up. Probably have to go crawl underneath, go find them. There's at least one over here. I can see it's holding it down. Get that pulled up, and then we'll keep using the old cat's paw, meow, to get this thing pulled out. Well, I had one screw I had missed that was holding this thing in, and it was stripped out to you-know-what and wouldn't come out, but it was just screwed into rust, so I was able to just kind of pry it and break apart whatever it was screwed into. Well, I've got rust in my ear in a bunch of places I'm not proud to admit. I finally got it. Had to crawl underneath to get that self-tapper that was put in from the bottom into the tunnel. It was, like a W clamp holding together, I think like the fuel line and maybe a return line or something. I didn't carry into it too far, but we'll be able to see it once it's out. It was just buried under all the undercoat. Now I got the tunnel out, so now I kind of go around this thing and clean up the lip a little bit and decide, is there a spot here up around this tunnel seam where I can leave some metal to be able to weld to, which would be nice? Or am I going to have to just whack and stack and take it all? Well, I'll spare you some of the details here, but essentially I'm just going to go around and start trying to clean this thing up a bit, and I'll probably grab a wire wheel, and we gotta this is that lip I'm talking about, wanting to see if I can keep somewhere up to that edge. But I think essentially we're just going to start wire wheeling stuff and trying to see if we can go salvage on what we can. There's the transmission. Looks like the pan gasket might be leaking just a tickle, so we'll probably end up having to replace that. But hey, U-joints seem pretty solid. I'll take that. yeah, I'll bring you back in here and we can get this thing a little cleaned up, and then we can, decide what we're gonna do when we can actually really see it, and we got it right up in our teeth, if you know what I mean. So, pitter patter, get at it. Okay, so I've gone ahead and shined this up a little bit, and now I've got my handy dandy piece of an Amazon cardboard box that's going to serve as my notepad, and the construction pencil, and the tape measure, and I'm just going to take some rough measurements here and start laying out a shape on this of what I want this patch panel to look like, and then I'll probably mark that up on a big piece of cardboard box and cut it out and then lay it in here. That way I can go make some notes on it and stuff, get it to fit how I want to, and then we'll transfer it to steel, and then cut it out with a grinder, and then bzz, 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 weld her up. Let's see here. Alright, you won't be able to see it, but I got a rough shape drawn up on here, so I'm going to go cut it out of some cardboard, and then we'll lay it down, and then we'll do the same thing onto some steel. Don't want to sit right there, buddy. Come on, over here. No, come on. Let's go, look out. Probably only really going to show this on one panel. I don't know. We'll see. But essentially, went and took some measurements and made myself a little cardboard template. I have since transferred that to a piece of sheet metal. I've laid it down in here. And it don't fit perfect, but you know what? It looks good enough for my house. Hold this in place right where I want it. Thought about going and zipping some self-tappers in this, but I'm just gonna kind of hold it there, and then I'm gonna do some coloring within the lines, if you know what I mean. Go trace this thing around so I know where it's gonna land. That roughly gives me my line of where my panel lands, and then you got options, right? I can cut and leave my line, and then that'd give me a nice butt seam to go weld in this thing, or I can just go crop out the sections of rust and then drill some holes around the perimeter of this thing, and then lay it on top and make it to where it's a lap panel, and then you go weld and fill in the holes and patch it that way. We'll make it up as we go and do one of those things. Okay, yeah, good talk. It is getting very late, early, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to show you because I made a pretty stupid mistake that I'm not proud of, but I'm taking the right steps to correct it. And just to show you, let's see here. If you can see that, that is 1:10 in the morning on Sunday. Look at that beautiful family. So good, huh? Anyway, yeah, it's very early, late, whatever you want to call it. I didn't really look too well at what I was cutting behind. Thankfully I noticed this metering block here and was able to get the nuts taken off there, but I kissed these old fuel lines. And this one I clean cut in half, and these ones I got into just a little bit. Didn't get into this tank at all. I had originally just cut it right there, and then I noticed I snipped those, and so then I ended up, prying underneath here and popping it up so that way I could safely cut this portion out there, so that way I can go replace these hoses super easy. And yeah, I think that's my cue to go ahead and shut her on down here basically what we're going to do next year is we're going to go clean the rest of this up and get in here really good with a wire wheel. Well, I don't know if you can see that. It's just a little dusty, but we did go ahead and go shine up on her. So she's a little shined up, a little bit cleaner. Snip some fuel lines I got to go, replace on. That's okay. Didn't burn the place down. That's all that matters. Anyways, show you what we got here. Something like that. Basically fit in like that, and then what we're gonna end up doing here is just going and zipping around a ton of self-tapper screws, and then we'll pull the screws out and weld them up. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, could have done this a lot better, but you know what? It's gonna be just fine for doing like a lap patch. It'll work. Don't gotta be perfect. Could have spent a lot more time and made this a lot better. But you know what? At the end of the day, I just wanted to just get a floor in it. I just want to get a floor in it. I want to get the interior put back in. I want to get the headliner done. I just want the inside of this thing to be done. If I'm being honest, the plan is to just plow through the interior of this thing, which means floor pans, probably painting the floor, doing a headliner, because that. Doing carpet all the way around, put the tunnel back in, maybe clean up some gauges, clean, steering wheel and the mold and stuff off of it. Peel up that turf, find a bunch more rust, fix that. So on that, I'm going to go ahead and, shut her on down for the evening. This is what I'm thinking. Oh, pinched my glove in there. Bandit and I say goodnight. Get out and work on your stuff a little bit. And we'll see you next time. And hopefully next time I bring you in, the update will be floors are welded in this thing. And we're on to something new. Like, I don't know. Maybe next time we'll go address that. Because that's pretty bad. Yeah, that'd be nice to get fixed. Huh, buddy. All right. Good night, y'all. Get out and work on your stuff, even if all you got is 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. Just get some hands on the old rig and start getting them put back together. Get them on the road. We'll see you out there. And, yeah. Hit the like, subscribe, do all the things, comment. Really appreciate it. Love all the interaction we can get off of this deal. That'd be great. Love hearing from you guys. A little bit of rust. A lot more underneath the car. Oh, I know, buddy. A lot more underneath there. And probably a bunch in my lungs, if I'm being honest. But see you on the flip side.